The story begins where the people of family Huo are massacred by assassins. Hu is sent by the worldly faction for turning down their invitation. But one boy managed to survive. Soon after, he was discovered by a fat guy. As he was about to cut off the root of family Huo, the boss, Bat, stopped him and said,
I have observed this boy for a long time. He has never shed a tear, so he is probably not the child of family Huo.
The fat guy let the boy go.
We're here for the money. Let's don't kill unnecessarily, or not we will lose profit.
Suddenly, the boy picked up the sword, jumped, and stabbed the sword into the fat guy's back. Furious, Bat kicked the boy onto the stone lion. When the boy was going to die under the blade, his blade was shaken off his grip. Then, he heard a young boy saying,
Master, this child is so pitiful. Please save him.
A man's voice sounded.
Okay.
The boy, Chen, swayed and saved the boy, and his master also waved and shifted through Bat, leaving with Chen and the boy. After a while, the boy woke up in shock and wanted to leave, but Chen quickly reassured him.
Don't be afraid. We don't have ill intentions.
A moment later, the master also came in, being surprised by the quick recovery of the young boy. The boy was stunned by the godly aura of the master. The boy took the medicine from the master's hand and drank it. He swore by his name, Huo Jingjue, he would remember this saving grace. Jian asked Huo Jingjue,
Hey, you're not muted. Why didn't you cry when your family was killed that day?
Huo Jingjue's reply shocked Jian, saying,
Crying will not remedy the situation. Only by being calm that I can seize the opportunity to revenge.
Since then, Huo Jingjue stayed to heal his injuries. One night, Huo Jingjue was woken by the sound outside the house. Someone seemed to be teaching sword arts. Thus, he was learning the sword arts secretly, thinking that he could take revenge one day. The sword dropped to the ground, and Jian knelt in disappointment. After training for so long, he still could not master the sword art, unknown sadness. But his master advised him to not get ahead of himself since learning the sword art required an enlightenment in one's mind. Huo Jingjue stepped forward with a bamboo stick, asking,
Sir, I inherited the family Huo's sword art, and I seek your teaching.
Jian wanted to reject, for fear that he would injure Jingjue in a practice match, but his master thought this would be a good opportunity for him to learn. As the practice started, Huo Jingjue leaps forward and plunges with the sword arts of Huo family. While Jian seems exceptionally serious as this is his first match. With just a glance, Jian already finds the flaw and interrupts the attack, knocking the bamboo stick into the ground. Huo Jingjue is startled that this loss is so swift, but he still doesn't give up. He somersaults and lands beside the bamboo stick, and he picks it up and asks for another match. He launches fierce attacks with another sword art of the Huo family. However, facing such pressure, Jian still calmly voided every strike. Seeing that the opponent is only defending, Huo Jingjue is even enraged, and his attack is even fiercer. Jian, who is only defending, is at a disadvantaged situation. But losing means putting shame on the sword art of unknown sadness, so he can't lose no matter how. As he thinks so, he throws the sword to the ground, and it bounces up to Huo Jingjue. This is the one sword art of the unknown sadness, out of nowhere. Huo Jingjue's bamboo stick is knocked off, and he is defeated. After second defeat, Huo Jingjue is still unwilling to give up. He steps onto the well, jumped into the air and grabbed the bamboo stick, then from the air, he launches unknown sadness. Jian raised his sword high, using famous for a while. Two ultimate moves cross, but famous for a while is restrained by the crisscrossing edges of unknown sadness. Jian's sword is flicked off from his hand, launching toward his master. With a glance, the master twists the sword and stops it in the air. Witnessing such unparalleled sword art, Huo Jingjue kneels down and asks to be his disciple. The master knows that there is a hint of demonic will in Huo Jingjue's sword arts, so he leaves neither agreeing nor disagreeing. In the next morning, the master asks Huo Jingjue to observe Jian's practice. When the sun is setting, Huo Jingjue is strolling in the wild in a heavy heart, wondering why he still isn't accepted as disciple. Suddenly, he notices something in the wild. He sees a gazelle being surrounded by a pack of wolf. He launches his sword into a wolf's neck, trying to help the dying gazelle. Immediately, the wolf pack shifts their target to Huo Jingjue, but with his skills now, the wolf pack isn't his opponent at all. Soon, the wolf pack runs away in dismay. The gazelle that survives moans in pain. Seeing this, Huo Jingjue slashes its neck and kills it without hesitation so that it won't suffer anymore. Then, he sees Master walking by without making a sound. The next day, the Master tells Huo Jingjue that he wants to bring him to see his friend, Monk Bu Su. He explains that Monk Bu Su has excellent achievements in martial arts and knows more about the philosophy of life, which makes him the better person to be his teacher. Huo Jingjue immediately understands that the master isn't going to accept him as his disciple. He thinks his apprenticeship was rejected because the master is afraid that he will be better than Chen. At night, Huo Jingjue decides to leave. Chen chases him and stops him, trying to persuade him to go back, but Huo Jingjue is determined to leave. He attacks Chen, but Chen just dodges it without effort. It turns out that Chen was losing the practice match purposely last night because he also hopes that Huo Jingjue will be accepted as his master's disciple. Hearing that, Huo Jingjue still insists on leaving. The two of them are on different paths. One has the devoted attention of the master. One has his mother dead since young and his family doesn't treat him like a human. Before leaving, Huo Jingjue still thanks Chen for the warmth that he never feels before. One day, he comes to the top of a mountain and wants to join a section. He renames himself as Bu Jingyun.